that a thing?
I'm improvising Homestuck sounding things.
Oh, okay.
Zepida? Is that a character in Homestuck?
Zepida?
Is that one?
I know there's... I guess...
Is it Nepida?
Nepida's a character. I've always pronounced it in my head as Nepeta, which is wrong, clearly. I say it out loud and I know that it's wrong. Hello, and welcome to Late to School, a Flip Flappers watchcast. I'm Lorena.
And I'm Zach.
And we're watching Flip Flappers.
Yeah.
I guess before we get into this, we should actually, on the off chance, on the very, very rare chance that someone listens to this without having listened to any of the rest of the show.
Right,
we should explain what this show is.
Yes, that's a good point. This is a show about me and you, and you are anime, and I am not anime, and you want me to become anime.
I want you to become anime.
And...
Zach become anime.
Zach become anime.
My favorite David Cage game.
Detroit become anime. Yeah.
You're late to school, that's the joke.
I'm late to school. Because I've not done the animes.
Yeah.
I know shit about anime.
You're 55 years old.
Yeah.
And you've never watched anime.
Mm-hmm. Except for Sailor Moon. I've now watched the first season
you've
of Sailor
watched a season of Sailor Moon.
A couple Ghibli movies.
A single episode of Full Metal Alchemist, I recall.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Right. And
we went over that in the first episode. People can go back and listen to our first Sailor Moon if they want to.
Okay. But yeah, we're watching Flip Flappers.
Yeah, this is now my second anime.
Right.
My proper anime.
Which is maybe a mistake on my part to make this your second anime, but it's one of my favorite shows, and I would not have been able to live with myself. If I had to wait much longer to show it to you.
That's fair. And that's also what the main point of the show is. You're not really making a curriculum for me to understand anime.
Because if I was making a curriculum, we would watch Dragon Ball, and we're not going to do that.
No.
Unless people want to pay us money to do it.
Yeah. It's about, you have shows you like, and you want your friend, me, to watch them. Thank you for being my friend, by the way.
Yeah, You're welcome?
Yeah.
Before I go over some information about this show, I want to ask you, did you know anything about this show?
I did. I knew jack shit. Okay. I knew you liked it, and I knew it was called Flip Flappers. Okay. And I was like, that's a weird name for it. And I believe you said that it was a magical girl anime. Yeah,
so Flip Flappers is a magical girl anime. It was produced by Studio 3 Hertz.
Okay. That's not a lot of hertz, I feel like.
No. It was directed by Kiyotaka Oshiyama and written by Yuniko Ayana, with music by Tomas.
Oh yeah.
And
seems familiar. Have I heard about Tomas before?
man, I tried to find out anything about them.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say right off the bat here, it's incredibly hard to find any information about anything involved in the production of this show for some reason.
Really?
It's a lot harder than it was for Sailor Moon, definitely.
Huh.
I tried Googling, like, Tomas music, Tomas Japanese, Tomas flip flappers, and I couldn't find anything except for the ending theme, which we'll talk about when we get to it, but...
Okay.
Yeah, so apologies to Tomas for the fact that I cannot give you your due. I don't even know if you're a person or a group.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we are watching the English dub, as we will be doing for every show we watch on this show, which was licensed by Sentai Filmworks.
Mm-hmm.
The show itself first aired in 2016, but the English dub was not released until the Blu-ray release of the show, which was February 27th, 2018.
Huh.
Which is a very long time. I don't know if that's normal for anime.
Yeah, that's what, 4 years? Did I... I wasn't paying attention, maybe.
2016.
2016.
2016,
2 years.
yeah, 2 years.
I thought you said 15.
Okay.
Which still wouldn't be 4 years.
No, but it would at least be closer.
Yeah.
I don't buy Blu-rays, so I don't know what the release window for those usually is, but 2 years feels like a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess producing a dub takes a long time, but...
That's true, yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is this show based on a manga?
Oh, yeah, that's important. That's an important question, actually. It is not. It is a completely original anime. It is not based on a manga or a visual novel.
Okay.
Or a light novel or a Japanese fairy tale or anything like that.
Okay. There's nothing it is based off of.
Nothing. But with that out of the way, we can go on to the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Pure Input. So most of these episodes are only directed by the series director, Kiyotaka Oshiyama.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them do have a second director on board, but for the most part, it's just him.
Okay.
So I will call that out. What?
This is Man.
Yes.
The lead director is Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will mention when there is a second director, but if it's just him, I won't really talk about it.
Okay.
And again, most episodes are only written by Yuniko Ayana, so yeah. But Pure Input was first released, is the word Wikipedia used, I guess because of streaming.
First unleashed.
First unleashed into the world, October 6, 2016.
Okay.
And that's really the only production info we have on this episode.
Okay. So the episode starts with a kind of a cold open.
Yeah.
On a mock exam.
Yeah.
In a classroom, there's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
She has blue hair, and she's our protag.
Yeah. There's a clock that is a wine glass and also two people's faces.
Oh yeah, I kind of missed that, I think.
Okay. There's a few things like that I'll call out when we get to them.
Okay. And it's a mock exam. We see on the board. It says mock exam. Uh-huh.
Our protagonist is on the English section, we see.
Yes.
And, there's a question.
Mm-hmm. And then, meanwhile,
we
get a quick cut to an alarm blaring somewhere.
It's sort of a secret facility.
I would call it a secret facility. I think you know a secret facility when you see one.
Yeah.
Which is kind of ironic.
Yeah.
But we see a girl,
a
different girl. This is not blue-haired girl.
Right.
This is a sort of red-haired girl.
Yeah, kind of salmon.
Yeah.
Salmon-colored.
Kind of a salmon hair. Very, very wild and unkempt hair. Running with a surfboard through a tunnel in this secret base. And someone calls for Papika to come back. And that's her name.
Yeah.
That's the character. This is in the notes that you wrote for this episode that I am reading. Just pulling back the curtain a little bit. Because I did not notice this in the slightest.
Oh?
You mentioned here, we get a shot of someone wearing an outfit similar to Papika's, and they appear to be dead.
Yeah, so Papika is wearing, like, a very weird, like, mesh
Yeah.
cat suit?
Yeah.
It's like a one-piece cat suit, and, like, parts of it are cut out for some reason.
Yeah. It does remind me of, like, a swimsuit, which might sort of tie into her surfer theme.
Maybe. But, yeah, we see, in another room, someone says that something went wrong, right? Someone over the radio?
I honestly don't remember that.
Okay, is it not in my notes?
No.
Okay. But yeah, we see another, I think, girl who appears to be dead and is wearing like the same uniform essentially as Papika.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's foreboding.
Mm-hmm.
We do see a control room with some folks in it.
Yeah.
There's a lady on a computer.
Yeah.
And then there's a man with pink hair.
And big, sort of, not exactly Melvin-esque, but round glasses.
Yes. And the pink-haired man says, over like a radio to Papika, that searching for candidates on foot is extremely inefficient.
Yeah.
And Papika is like, don't care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Also worth noting that Papika is being sort of, like, fruitlessly pursued by a small robot.
Yes. Who has, like, a little, like, his eye. He's got, like, one eye. And, like, it displays, like, words on it.
Yeah.
And I think it displays, like, the katakana or kanji for stop.
Yeah. I don't think it would be katakana. If it's not kanji, it's probably hiragana, but I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to recognize that stuff by sight.
I'm so bad at that stuff. And then in the control room, the pink-haired man asks for Dr. Salt's opinion, which is my name when I play multiplayer games.
Yep.
Especially online. And there's a man in like a high... I almost said a high chair, which is...
No.
It is a chair that is high up.
Yeah.
But it is not
he's in like a
baby chair.
He's in like a loft, I guess.
A loft, yes.
He's in a loft that looks like a smoking room.
Yeah. He's got a suit. He's got some big fucking anime sunglasses.
Yeah.
Very pointy sort of Kamen Rider-ass sunglasses. That's the one, right? Kamen Rider?
Wait.
Or is it Evangelion?
Are you thinking of Gurren Lagann?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't get there eventually. But...
the character you're thinking of is named Kamina, so I can see where you would get your wires crossed.
That's where I got Kamen Rider. And this man is bored. Dr. Salt is just... It's a very funny name for some reason.
You're gonna have to get used to it.
But yeah, and then Papika. That's also a hard name to say. Papika reaches the end of the tunnel, and you've written here, a dumb robot that I hate tries to stop her.
Yeah, don't worry about that. We'll get into why I hate that dumb robot eventually.
And she just kind of brushes him off, and then hops on her surfboard, which flies. She's got a hoverboard. She's got a treasure planet.
Yeah.
Except without the sail. And then she just sort of blows right through the end of the tunnel. And then
we sort of see a slow motion shot of her, like, in the sky, in the air, and clearly having a very good time. Robot, not so much. The robot is hanging onto the end of the surfboard and is not having a good time.
Sort of an Artemis-like figure, this robot, so far.
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Okay. Not the goddess.
Not the goddess?
The cat.
Oh, okay.
The cat from Sailor Moon.
Sure. I like Artemis more than this robot, but...
Fair. And then we cut back to that classroom, where we see the girl, the blue-haired girl, who spots the explosion out the window.
Yeah. And it's very far in the distance, but still visible. And
then... she's like, hey, that's weird. But a classmate says something to her, which we can't hear because they're behind a window from the camera. and she turns away and goes back to something. I don't know.
No, probably leaving.
Probably. And then Papika, flying on her surfboard, sees the city and is like, ooh, sparkly, and flies towards it.
Yeah.
And then the
opening theme.
The opening theme. So before we get to the opening theme, real quick, I just want to preface, I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
That's
clearly intentional.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so the opening theme.
Which is very good.
It's pretty good.
The opening theme is Serendipity, which was written and performed by, I don't know how to pronounce this name.
Okay.
So it's ZAQ in all capitals.
Mm-hmm.
My instinct is to say Zach. But I don't know if that's right.
Right.
Who's sort of a Japanese pop star who does a lot of anime openings.
Okay.
None that I'm familiar with, but...
Except this one.
And it's very good, and I love it.
It's really good. It's very... The opening animation is very surreal and weird. Mm-hmm. This whole show is very surreal.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a bop.
It's a bop. Also, I cry at the end.
Of the opening?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Okay. So then the episode continues. And we see the blue-haired girl in a boat.
Yeah.
In a river. And she is dazed, and there's a light behind her. And she turns and sees a woman with long blue hair sitting at the other end of the boat. Yeah, so this woman, also an old lady. Yeah. If you look at her at the right angle, she's an old woman. It's what do you call those? Eye trick. Wait, what? What the fuck is... No, I know. So, like, the optical illusion. Optical illusion, yeah. You know the optical illusion where it's like it's either a beautiful maiden or an old hag. Right. What are you talking about, though? If you look at her right, she's an old lady. I feel like I need fucking annotations for this show. What the fuck? Just look it up when we're done. Okay. I guess I need to rewatch this episode. She's like, hey, who are you? The blue-hair girl. Mm-hmm. Is like, hey, who are you? And this lady, actually the lady doesn't say this, I don't think. But voice we hear says, a voice. Welcome home. Mm-hmm. And then she wakes up. Yeah. The blue-hair girl. This was a dream. Yeah. And her grandma is here. Mm-hmm. Her grandma has a very cool, like, motor wheelchair. Yeah. And she says good morning to Coconut. Mm-hmm. Which is the name. Yeah. That's her. That's her. So we have the names of our two protagonists now. And Grandma asks, I don't think we need to get Grandma's name in this episode. No, her name is just Grandma. It's like Gramps from Sailor Moon. Uh-huh. She asks if Coconut had another bad dream. Mm-hmm. And Coconut shakes her head. And we see a single shot of a terrarium. Yeah. With a weird cloth cocoon. Yeah. And we see like a little green face with big... It's hard to tell that that's... vacuous eyes. It's hard to tell that that's what we're looking at yet. It is, but we don't get like a zoom in on that until the second episode. Yeah. But yeah, it is there. Uh-huh. It's also, until the second episode, completely unclear what the fuck that is. Yeah. But don't worry about that. Yeah, not yet. Breakfast. Mm-hmm. Now it's breakfast time. And Grandma asks Coconut if she stayed up late reading and hands her a bowl of beans. I don't know what these are. I'm sure if I knew more about Japanese food, I would understand what's happening. Mm-hmm. But it's just... breakfast beans. I guess that's a thing people do have. Yeah. People do have beans for breakfast. Also, important to note that we do see... Beanfast. Coconut has reading glasses that she isn't wearing, but we do see that she has them. Right. And Coconut sort of doesn't answer the question. Right. Sort of deflects and asks where her grandma thinks she should go. And then her grandma is confused. Yeah. And Kokona hands her back the beans, which is odd.
Well, she took the beans that she wanted to eat.
I guess.
They're sharing the bean bowl.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah.
How could I have been so foolish? I forgot about the shared bean bowl.
I want to be clear that I'm not making fun of Japanese food.
No.
I just don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, no. This is us making fun of ourselves.
Yeah.
For having no fucking clue what this is.
And then we just cut to Kokona getting dressed for school.
Yeah, so we don't get sort of an explanation on what she means there.
We do later, but
we do later.
For now, unclear.
Yeah.
She is, she's wearing a sailor uniform, so we know she's a middle schooler.
Uh-huh. And, she leaves for school.
Mm-hmm.
She is not late, I don't believe.
I don't believe she's late, unfortunately.
At
this point, I should probably say, Kokona's voice actresses. Her English voice actress is Lucy Christian.
Okay.
Who plays Ochako Uraraka in My Hero Academia.
Okay. No idea who that is.
She's the girl one.
Is she
that's
the frog?
Unfair. I like Ochako a lot. No. She's not the frog.
Okay.
The frog is Suyu.
Okay.
We'll watch My Hero Academia at some point, probably. She's also Chihaya Ayase in Chihaya Furu. Chihaya Furu.
I've never even heard of that show.
It's a show about... I forget what the fuck. Hayafuru is something, I think. It's a game, it's a sport, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it's really good.
Okay.
She is also Ahiru /Duck /Princess Tutu in Princess Tutu.
Okay.
Her Japanese voice actress is Minami Takahashi, who is Quetzalcoatl in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Ah!
Everyone's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And also Perry in Fire Emblem Fates.
Okay.
So...
Who is Perry again?
She's the one with the sort of pink and blue hair. I think she's a mercenary.
Perry.
She's one of the few characters in that game that has a design I don't hate.
Oh, Fates!
What did you think I said?
I thought Echoes. I was thinking of Echoes.
Oh.
I was trying to think of one character from Echo. Have we talked on this show about how much I fucking hate Fire Emblem game names? They're all bad.
You don't like,
Thracia 776?
Genealogy of the Holy War?
That one's okay, actually. It's long-winded, but that can be fine. It sounds like a fucking anime title.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, anime.
Yeah.
That could have also been the name of the show.
Sure. Kokona goes to school. She stops at, like, a train crossing.
Uh-huh.
Or a trolley? It's kind of a trolley.
Kind of a trolley.
Which, I would point out, not a thing in Japan as far as I'm aware.
Really?
This is sort of a fantastical element of this city, is that it has trolleys.
Okay. Interesting.
I could be completely off base there, but
okay.
I think it's not a thing. I haven't seen it.
Bad teacher.
I haven't seen it anywhere.
Okay.
I've never heard about the famous Japanese trolley system. It's usually just trains.
You don't hear a lot about
trains.
most trolley systems, I feel like. I guess San Francisco.
Yeah. Anyway, the train thing comes down.
Yeah.
The bar that's like, hey, don't go. The tram's coming. And Kokona stops.
Mm-hmm.
And...
she sees Papika.
Uh-huh.
In the air.
Papika flies by on her surfboard.
Uh-huh. And sort of crashes behind the trolley.
Yeah, they meet eyes, which distracts Papika.
Uh-huh.
And she falls to the ground.
And then the trolley moves, and she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And Kokona is like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
But one of her classmates is like, hey, come on.
You gotta get on the train.
And Kokona's like, oh, okay. Just gonna kind of repress that memory.
Uh-huh.
And then as the train leaves, we sort of pan out.
Mm-hmm.
Pan out? Zoom out? Whatever. We see Papika.
Who is standing on
on top of a solar panel.
Yeah.
Which seems bad.
Yeah.
For the solar
the
energy gathering. And she says the name Kokona to herself and smiles.
And she is seen by a pair of twins.
Yes. These small white-haired children.
Yeah.
Like they have white hair and red eyes. They're fucking Sheikah from The Legend of Zelda.
It's a boy and a girl. The girl is wearing a cast.
On her arm, yeah.
And the boy is like, hey, that's weird. And the girl calls him a dummy. And then they turn back and Papika's gone.
Yes.
That's not important. We'll never see them again. Don't worry about it.
We'll never see those characters who are in the opening animation again?
Nah.
Okay, cool.
Now it's probably a good time to mention Papika.
Right.
Her voice actress. Or voice actor again. She is voiced by Brittany Karbowski in English.
Okay. Good name. I like that name.
Yeah.
It's just a fun one. Karbowski.
Yeah, true.
It's got some fun syllables.
She's very prolific. She voices a lot of minor characters and stuff.
Okay.
She is probably best known as Mikoto Misaka in A Certain Scientific Railgun and A Certain Magical Index.
Oh!
A very large franchise.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
She is also Luluko in Space Patrol Luluko.
Okay. I've never heard of either of these.
Yeah. She's also... So this is not a character or show I know, but I did note it down just because she is Sawako in Momo, Girl God of Death, Ballad of a Shinigami. Which I only noted because, God, what a name.
We might need to watch that.
I don't know. I've never heard of it. Her Japanese voice actress is Mao Ichimichi, aka MAO, which is her stage name.
Okay.
Who is Ayu in Noragami. And also Luluko in Space Patrol Luluko.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, how's that work?
They're both Luluko. They were like, well, Brittany did a really good job as Luluko. We might as well get her for Papika too.
But why are they both Luluko?
What are you talking about? Because there's an English dub.
Oh. I thought this was okay. I got confused.
Okay. Do you need me to explain or do you get it now?
I'm dumb. I mean, no, you don't need to explain it. I'm just a dumbass.
Okay. Are you good?
Yeah.
Do you want to cut that?
Maybe.
Okay.
I'll make that choice.
Yeah.
When
the time comes. Anyway. And then we cut to school.
Kokona is meeting a teacher counselor.
Yeah.
And we basically sort of... It's not explicitly said. This show is pretty good at not, like, just dumping exposition.
Yeah.
It's explained to us via context that Kokona still has not decided what high school she wants to go to.
Yeah.
Which is not a thing I thought middle schoolers had to choose.
No, yeah, In
Japan.
Mandatory schooling in Japan only goes up to middle school.
Really?
Yeah. You can, like... I think it's difficult, but it's entirely possible to completely fail out of even being able to attend high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You have to take entrance exams.
Huh. So that's what the mock exam was for.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is indecisive about this issue. And she leaves and thanks the teacher. And a girl with blonde hair.
Yeah.
With, like, pink streaks in it.
Very good hair.
Yes. Spots her and calls out to her. And this is Kokona's friend, who is Yayaka.
Yeah, I don't think we learn her name at this point, but
yeah,
it's mentioned offhand at some point, and that's how we learn it.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, she asks if she asks if Kokona. It's not that hard, you know? It's not that many syllables. Got, like, in trouble. Got called in. And Kokona tells her that it was about the mock exam.
Yeah.
It needs to be turned in after school. And Yayaka sighs and says that that's annoying. And then leaves.
Yeah.
And then Kokona walks off on her own.
Yeah. Yayaka is voiced by Patricia Duran in English, who is the princess in Princess Principal.
Okay.
And also Hikari Kagura in Review Starlight.
Okay.
I don't usually mention this stuff about voice actors, but it's really interesting. Her earliest role is in 2007, and then her next role is in 2016.
Wow.
She took a huge break from voice acting.
She took a 9-year break.
Yeah.
You know what? Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could take a 9-year break for literally anything.
Yeah. Her Japanese voice actress has a lot of roles in shows that I've never heard of.
Okay. Very prolific.
So I don't know if any of those characters are important.
Right.
But the one show I did recognize is that she is Karome in Akame ga Kill.
Okay. Where are my Fire Emblems?
Yeah.
Where there's not a single Fire Emblem.
Not yet.
Perry.
Right.
The coconut.
Right. We'll get more Fire Emblem later.
We'll get more, yeah. I like how I said that as if I was agreeing with you, as if I knew that to be the case.
Uh-huh.
And so we get a sad montage
Mm-hmm.
of Kokona at school, just everybody else being happy children, and her being pensive and contemplative.
Yeah.
There's one bit where she's in the gym, and we see Papika watching her through a window.
Yes.
But Kokona turns around to look. She feels she's being watched, and turns around to look, and she's gone. And then we see Kokona in the school nurse's office.
Yeah.
This fucking scene. And Yayaka is also there. She emerges from a
one of the beds.
Yeah.
She opens the curtain.
And she's there talking about the thing. And she's like, with your brains, couldn't you just go anywhere you wanted? And Kokona tells her that she doesn't want to just go anywhere.
Yeah.
And then Yayaka texts her a list of prospective schools that she is considering. And Kokona tells her that she'll keep it in mind. And then a nurse shows up.
And thanks Kokona for staying after school.
Yeah.
Even though she's not on duty, which is, actually, I know that's a thing in Japanese schools. Students will be assigned to either watch the nurse's office or clean after school. I think usually the cleaning is assigned to a class as a whole.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Because if it was one person, that would be pretty shitty. And Kokona says it's no problem.
Yeah.
You have one patient. Also, she mentions, presumably referring to Yayaka.
Yeah.
And then she leaves, and then the nurse just turns to Yayaka and says, "If you aren't feeling well, you can go home." You not helpful. I feel like that's not the response that a nurse should have.
No, you should at least check.
Yeah, you should maybe see what is up. But Yayaka just sighs and I think just closes the curtains of the bed on herself again and just stays there, I guess. That's where she lives now.
Yeah, fair.
Is it?
I have definitely fucking hidden from classes I didn't want to be doing in the nurse's office.
But yeah, Kokona is walking through the I almost said squad. The quad.
I guess it's either a quad or a courtyard.
Or a squad.
It's a big grassy field outside. What's a squammet?
It's like a lizard.
Okay, I don't think that's right.
Nah.
I don't think she's on the squammet.
That sounds like a very an 18th century slang for being on some kind of drug.
I say, have you seen Byron lately? I believe that he is on the squammet. Absolutely scandalous. Anyway, she's walking around. She's pensive and sad. I think
she passes a student painting under a tree.
Yeah.
She has green hair, so we know she's probably going to be at least vaguely important later.
And then I think it's lunchtime, for the record. And then she comes across a sort of barred off opening into the forest around the school.
Mm-hmm. But it's not very well barred off. It's very broken and easily stepped over.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, a storage area?
In the woods.
In the woods.
And she decides to investigate, and she finds a clearing.
Yeah.
With a big pipe.
Uh-huh.
And also a bunch of other just shit lying around.
Yeah.
The pipe is like on its side.
Yeah.
There's it's like a section pipe.
Mm-hmm. And there's
like unlike a non-section pipe.
Uh-huh.
A pipe that's just all pipes.
Yeah.
Then she has herself a fucking seat.
Yeah, she sits on top of the pipe. She starts looking through the list Yayaka sent her.
Uh-huh.
And notes that one of those is an all-boys school.
Uh-huh. And she sighs in frustration.
Mm-hmm.
And then Papika is behind her.
Uh-huh.
And I think Papika says something that alerts her of her presence or something. I can't remember exactly.
I don't think she does, actually. I think Kokona just knows.
Senses.
Uh-huh.
And she
freaks
fucking
out.
Panics. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But Papika smiles and is pleased that she has found Kokona.
Mm-hmm.
And starts to climb out of the pipe towards Kokona like a fucking goblin.
Mm-hmm.
And asks Kokona what she's doing here. Mm-hmm. And Kokona is just like, what are you doing here?
And Papika says that she was sleeping. She's been waiting all day for Kokona to come outside.
Mm-hmm.
And she, gets very close to Kokona and sniffs her.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And Kokona pushes her away, which is a valid reaction. And Kokona asks who the fuck she is. And Papika says she's Papika.
Mm-hmm.
And says that they need to get going.
Uh-huh.
And Kokona asks where. And Papika says, Pewee? What was it?
Uh-huh.
And then the robot is here.
Uh-huh.
He sidles sort of out of the, he's got wheels.
He does have wheels.
So
we haven't described this robot.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to describe.
Yeah.
It's a very strange robot.
Yeah, he's got a good design.
Yeah, he's fine.
But he rolls on out of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And he says...
Well, I think it's actually pink hair. We hear the pink hair man over the robot's intercom.
That makes sense, because the robot can't talk, generally. I thought this was just the one exception.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we hear someone, at least, say, pure illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
Yeah.
And then the robot grabs him.
Yeah.
Just wraps him up in his tentacly arms.
Uh-huh.
And then in the control room, we cut back to the little control room for a bit, and we see Kokona appear... Kokona. And we see Kokona appear on a monitor, and the lady in the control room wonders if she's a partner candidate.
Mm-hmm.
Which is how I...
Uh-huh.
That's how I...
That's in my bio on every dating site.
Uh-huh.
Looking for a partner candidate.
That's how I describe every hot person. Yeah. That's partner candidate to me.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Salt speaks now, I believe for the first time.
Yeah.
And says that they should test them.
Mm-hmm.
And the pink hair man yells, boy, I can't wait till we learn any of these fuck-asses' names besides Dr. Salt.
Uh-huh.
He yells, we need palpation! Send them in now!
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
I don't either.
Now, you've watched this
I
show.
have.
What is a palpation?
I mean heart palpitations?
That's palpitation.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's palpitation.
I don't know then.
Okay.
Maybe
send who in now? I guess them.
Send Kokona and Papika.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty clear.
Sure. Yeah, so the robot
mm-hmm.
starts tickling? Kokona and Papika?
He's tickling Papika. He does, like... He tries to lift Kokona's skirt, which is weird.
Is that what he's...
I don't know.
There's a zoom in on the skirt.
Yeah.
And he is plucking at it.
And
it's
Kokona,
weird...
bats his hand away.
Yeah.
His claw hand away, and it's like, don't touch that. It's weird.
It's strange.
I really hope it's not him trying to lift her skirt.
Is that why you hate him?
That is why
Or is there other reasons?
That's one of the reasons I hate him.
Okay. But then the robot jumps into the pipe.
And a, black goo.
Yes.
They fall into the pipe and black goo splashes out.
Which was definitely not there before.
No.
Because Papika was in that pipe.
Mm-hmm.
And then they fall into a rainbow vortex.
I don't know how to describe this.
Yeah, it's very psychedelic.
Mm-hmm. There's, giggling, more giggling. I can't tell if they're both giggling or if it's just Papika.
Yeah, because it sounds
like multiple people, but I don't know why.
It might be echoed in this weird
maybe.
Space. This liminal space.
Yeah. And then Kokona opens her eyes, and she's in, a black void. And before she can really, consider this, Papika leaps on her and hugs her.
She does what one in the past, in the old days, might refer to as a glomp.
Oh my god. You don't even watch anime. Why do you know that word? You're a baby.
I'm not that young. Okay. I'm not young enough to not know what a glomp is.
Okay. She does glomp Kokona.
And we're never going to say that word on this podcast again. She says that she's glad Kokona is alive.
Yeah. So we can kind of put the pieces together here, I think.
Can we?
I can, and not just because I've watched this show before, because I don't think this really gets expanded on later. Let me sort of try to piece this together for you.
Okay.
In the first scene, Pink Hair Man mentions that searching for candidates on foot is not a good idea.
Okay.
They mention partner candidate.
Yeah.
We see the body of the person earlier.
Right.
Papika is elated but surprised that Kokona is alive. I think what they've been trying to do is find partners for Papika, but they've all been dying when they go into pure illusion.
Okay. Maybe I would have been able to piece that together if I had noticed that there was a dead body.
Maybe. But yeah.
And then, but Kokona is not excited about this, and pushes her away again, and is like, hey, where the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And Papika points at, a speck of light in the distance, and then she runs off to check it out, and Kokona and the robot follow her. But, they leave. They leave the void through this speck. But yeah, Papika leaves first, and then Kokona follows, and she steps out into a giant snowy field.
Yeah.
On the edge of the forest. Where the school should be.
Yeah, probably.
But isn't.
And yeah, the snowy field is fenced in, sort of.
Yeah.
There are power lines. There are electrical towers. What do you call those?
Yeah, but everything looks kind of ruined.
Yeah.
A little bit. We do see hints of buildings, but it's all under the snow.
Yeah. And Kokona sees Papika running through the snow in the distance.
Papika is also calling out to Kokona. And she's just having a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Just plowing through the snow like a one-horse open sleigh.
Yeah.
What?
No, I get it.
It's not supposed to be the funniest joke in the podcast, but it was, you act like it was some sort of terrible pun.
Okay.
And then we hear a voice, I think coming from the robot again.
Yeah.
Saying, welcome to the experience known as pure illusion. Please enjoy yourself.
And
Kokona is confused.
Yeah,
And then Papika tackles her.
Into the snow.
And she's very excited that they made it. Papika sits up and asks Coconut if she wants to go see what's over there. And then just starts dragging Coconut, like, by the arm before she even responds.
Yeah.
And then pulls her onto her surfboard. Flying surfboard.
Yeah, she has that, by the way.
Yeah. I guess we didn't... Where was that?
There are shots where she definitely isn't holding it, so I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, she pulls Coconut onto her surfboard, which is not to Coconut's liking.
No.
And they just kind of leave the robot behind.
And then we immediately cut to the robot looking for them. The robot doesn't talk, but he does make, like, boo, boo, boo.
I think he says goo, goo.
He does say goo a lot. And those sounds are provided by Jay Hickman.
Okay.
Who is another prolific voice actor who is in a lot of stuff I've never watched.
Okay.
He's the Duke of Normandy in Princess Principal.
Okay, so 2 folks from Princess Principal so far.
He's also... we can't get into this. He's Muto in Princess Tutu, which is not spelled how you think it is.
Okay.
We'll maybe watch Princess Tutu at some point and we can talk about that.
Okay.
His Japanese voice actor is Kazuyuki Okitsu, who is Robin in the Japanese dub of Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Fire Emblem.
No, unfortunately.
But okay, that's still pretty,
He's also Brayburn in the Japanese dub of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
Oh, okay.
And Moid in Lagrange, the Flower of Renee.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the robot.
But yeah, the robot is looking for them. And does find Coconut looking at her phone and trying to call her grandma. But there's no service.
There's no service.
In pure illusion.
No.
And she considers, maybe I'm dreaming. I've heard it's possible to know you're dreaming within your dream, but... And then she is interrupted by getting fucking beamed with a snowball by Papika. And she asks Coconut to come play with her, and Coconut starts to gather snow to retaliate.
Papika runs off to make herself a harder target. Also, we see Papika has just a giant mound of snow in her arms.
And then Coconut sighs and just kind of gives up on retaliating. And starts to walk away, but then trips and falls. Just fucking eats shit into the snow.
Yeah. Which is fair. She's wearing school shoes.
Yeah, fair.
Which probably aren't, built for snow.
Yeah.
And then she, collects herself.
But she's sort of caught off guard. She tastes the snow.
Yeah.
On, her cheek. And she's like, it's sweet. And Papika comes over and is like, what? And just starts fucking gobbling down piles of snow. And Coconut's like, you're gonna make yourself sick.
And Papika reiterates that it is sweet. And then Coconut sort of much more gingerly takes a more reasonable portion of snow and starts eating some.
And then the robot hits them with snowballs. So we know he also has a sense of humor. And Papika yells at him and then turns back to Coconut and says that they should get going. And then we get a montage of them all playing in the snow.
Yeah.
Coconut makes a very good snowman with a very large body and a very tiny head.
It's one of those snowmen in Animal Crossing that just fucking calls you out for making their life an unending torment.
My favorite thing to do with that is small body, big head, though.
Yeah, that's fair. And she sort of starts giggling at Papika, and then catches...
Who is chasing the robot around and throwing snowballs at her.
Yeah. And catches herself. It's like, no, I can't have fun.
And then we cut to them flying again. Coconut is not having it still.
No, she's
clinging.
She's holding Papika extremely tightly.
Mm-hmm.
They're flying over like a valley with these big snowy pillars.
Yeah.
And Papika asks what those are.
She asks, "Are those monsters?"
Yeah.
Which is is a weird thing to ask generally.
Yeah.
And Coconut looks and says, "No, I think they're trees.
They're frozen trees."
Yeah. The snow and stuff gets on it and it's it freezes. They don't look very much like trees.
No.
But there are trees in that area.
Yeah. That is what frozen trees look like, though. They're
really?
like just massive pillars of snow and ice.
Wow. And Papika excitedly says that they should have a closer look.
Mm-hmm. And just angles the surfboard down.
Uh-huh. And plummet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see them walking through the forest, and Coconut is trying to leave a trail of, like, nuts behind them, and Papika is eating the nuts.
And Coconut yells at her.
Uh-huh.
But Papika says they taste good.
Mm-hmm. And then Papika is like, "Hey, we should camp."
Yeah, it starts snowing.
Uh-huh. And I think night is starting to fall.
Yeah.
As well. And Coconut is not
She's
sort of
not,
super enthused about sleeping here. But Papika grabs her and says they need to hurry. And then we cut, and they've made an igloo.
They've made an igloo.
Sort of leaning up against one of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
And Papika is excitedly making shadow puppets using the, like, robot's light.
Mm-hmm. And she asks Coconut to look.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, look at me."
But Coconut is just sort of huddled in a corner, looking at the ground, sullen.
And she's like, "What is this place? Where did you take me? Everyone is just hiding, right?"
Yeah.
Because there's no one else around.
Uh-huh.
And Papika moves next to Coconut and hugs her from the side and tries to tell her that everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And Coconut is like, Are you not afraid of all this?" And Papika says, "Not if you're here." And it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then the robot sort of indignantly bobs up and down. And Papika says, "And Boo's here with us."
Yeah, the robot's name is Boo.
Uh-huh. And Coconut smiles.
Mm-hmm.
And Papika says, "Hey, let's do a treasure hunt tomorrow. There's something hidden here in Pure Illusion. They say if you find it, your wish comes true. Oh yeah, and it smells good too."
Uh-huh.
And Coconut is like, "It smells good? Is it food?" And Papika says, "It smells kind of like you do." And leans in and sniffs her some more.
Uh-huh.
And Coconut shoves her away again.
I want to say that Papika sniffing Coconut is framed as very, like, intimate, I guess.
Yeah.
Her expression is very intimate, I think.
It's not just Papika being a gremlin.
Yeah.
Although also she should respect Coconut's boundaries.
Yeah, probably.
I think we do see them sort of hold hands in this scene a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
we get like
on their hands.
Oh yeah, we get a shot of the entrance of the igloo with them inside, and it looks like a skull.
What? I'm so dumb. I'm such a dumbass.
Yeah, here's the thing is I don't know if that means anything. There's just a lot of fuck, you said the word earlier and I've already forgotten it. There's a lot of optical illusions.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know, I think
Pure
a lot
illusions.
of them, yeah. I think a lot of them are just, they wanted some cool visuals.
Right.
They don't really
I wish I noticed any of them.
Yeah. It's fine. It's not a huge deal.
But then they start hearing weird shit.
Uh-huh.
And Boo panics.
Mm-hmm.
And he grows a rotary,
yeah,
like a helicopter rotor,
and
flies up to investigate. He's a drone now.
Mm-hmm. But he crashes into a tree branch and falls. And Papika's worried that he's hurt.
Mm-hmm. I think it's not just him being a dumbass. The trees are falling.
Right,
some of the trees are getting moved.
And Papika runs over. Coconut and Papika both like kneel down to check on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Coconut puts on her glasses at this point And Papika opens the hatch on his sort of back,
Yeah.
and there's a brain in there.
Yeah.
And then she sort of closes it.
And then they're just like, well, what do we do? And I fucking love, like, well, we didn't exactly... I don't know what we were going to do if it wasn't that, but I definitely don't know what we're going to do now that it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then something smashes into the ground next to them.
Uh-huh.
And we see a big mound.
Yeah.
A white mound that is crashing through the forest.
Mhm.
It is moving.
And it sort of has eyes.
Yeah, I think we do start to see it, the eyes. It's got like multiple yellow eyes.
Uh-huh. And we see that Papika has rescued Coconut and
Yes,
Boo.
she pulls them onto the surfboard.
Uh-huh. And I think at this point she says, it's the trees?
Yes.
Uh,
So they were monsters.
They
actually.
were monsters, actually.
She got it in one.
Uh-huh.
Boo at this point does kind of start sputtering back to life.
Uh-huh.
Boo, you know what Boo reminds me of? Flood.
That's,
Boo
yeah.
gives me Flood vibes.
Okay, that's fair.
Including almost dying.
Yeah, uh-huh. Spoilers. For Mario
For
Sunshine.
fucking 2005's
seminal classic.
And Coconut at this point realizes her glasses aren't on her face anymore.
Nope.
So she must have dropped them.
Mm-hmm. And she starts, looking down at the ground to see where they were.
Papika is very on point
Uh-huh.
about trying to find them, and looks through her hands like they're binoculars across the environment, and does see a glint in one of the creatures.
Yeah. I think there's only one in the woods right now.
Maybe. I feel like we've seen multiple creatures at this point, though. Because she does say it's the trees.
That's
not
true.
It's the tree.
You're right.
And Coconut is not happy about
No.
that location for it to be. But Papika says that she knows what to do.
And just fucking
Which
guns
I think
it.
is a lie
Yeah.
in all contexts for Papika.
Uh-huh. She just fucking guns the surfboard.
Yeah.
And heads...
tells Coconut to hold on.
Mm-hmm.
And they ride sort of alongside the creature.
Mm-hmm.
And they see the glasses near the front of its back.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of, it wedged into it.
Yeah.
And Papika starts to reach for them. But then the creature sort of emerges from the forest and slams into one of the other creatures.
Yeah, uh-huh. And Papika manages to dodge out of the way just in time.
And Coconut is like, are you trying to kill yourself? And Papika says, I'm just trying to get your glasses back. But if the thing that dives inside of that, it'll be hard to find them. And we see, she points, and we see that all of the creatures, this massive herd of creatures, are moving towards a big lake.
Yeah, and when they get to the lake, they just go in.
My favorite part of that is it'll be hard to get them. Not we won't be able to get them.
No, it'll be hard.
I won't try to get them. It'll be hard.
Yeah.
And Papika sort of gives some instructions to Boo, who grabs Coconut and pulls her off the surfboard and just kind of flies with her. And Papika on her surfboard flies toward the creature.
Yeah.
And Coconut does not like this.
No.
But Papika, dives onto this fucking colossus and starts, she jumps off the surfboard and starts, running along its back. And then a pink tentacle emerges.
Yeah.
From the creature.
And starts, swatting at her.
Yeah. This is a weird monster.
This is a very strange monster.
That I do want to stat for D&D a little bit. It's not a late to school episode if I don't mention Dungeons and Dragons.
You're right.
And Coconut is very scared.
Yeah.
For Papika because she is getting the shit kicked out of her by this tentacle. This is a weird fucking show.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're not even on episode 2 yet.
Yeah. And Coconut is yelling at Papika to just leave the glasses. She doesn't need them. And also, hey, you're gonna fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
But Papika manages to grab the glasses.
Yeah, she, struggles.
Mm-hmm.
She lifts the glasses up triumphantly.
Uh-huh.
And then notices too late that the creature is diving.
Yep. This feels very much like something that would happen in a game of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, uh-huh. This would happen in Dungeon World, you get a 6. You get a 6 on trying to grab the glasses, and you get them.
You did get them, but you are still on the creature as it's diving.
And the creature dives, and she falls with it into the lake.
And the show's over.
And the show's over, the end. Flip, flat.
Kokona watches this and is horrified.
Uh-huh.
And Boo lowers her to the ground.
Very gingerly.
Yeah.
And she runs to the edge of the lake. Mm-hmm. And it starts to freeze over.
Yeah. It's sort of just a lot. Mm-hmm. Just a lot to deal with here.
I think at this point it's clear that all of the creatures have made it and are in the lake now.
Yeah. And she is very sad.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And starts yelling out Papika's name.
Mm-hmm.
And then something weird happens.
Yeah.
We see a glow coming from her inner thigh.
Yeah.
For some reason, her inner left thigh.
Uh-huh.
And she screams out Papika's name again.
Mm-hmm. And we sort of get a distant shot of just a fucking corona of light exploding out of her.
And her hair starts floating and glowing. I think it's a different color now. I forget what color it is here.
I think it's
purple.
It's purple, you're right.
And gets 3 times as long.
Mm-hmm.
And she takes a breath and rushes onto the ice field.
Uh-huh.
And it fucking explodes.
Yeah.
And we see her holding Papika.
In the air.
Yep, they are flying. And they say each other's names.
Yeah.
And it's cute.
Mm-hmm.
And Papika smiles and holds up Kokona's glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And Kokona's like, they're a little cracked.
Uh-huh.
Which I feel like a little ungrateful.
I think she's being playful. I think she's teasing.
And then Papika is like, hey, hang on. What the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah.
Is this you? Are you Kokona?
Mm-hmm. And then Kokona sort of realizes she grips the back of her hair and is like,
And then at that point, the sort of magic seems to start to fade, and she stops glowing, and they start falling.
Uh-huh.
And they scram.
Mm-hmm. And I think Kokona asks Papika why she's smiling, because this is bad.
Yeah, uh-huh. But Boo catches them.
Uh-huh.
And as he does so, they fall again into the weird inky black goop.
Yep.
And Kokona wakes up beside the pipe in the clearing.
Yeah. And
it's sunset now.
Mm-hmm.
And she realizes that she's holding something.
Yeah.
Which is a weird... It's, the Arkenstone.
Yeah, uh-huh.
It looks like the fucking Arkenstone.
I'll abide your D&D references. The Lord of the Rings?
Okay, no, it's not Lord of the Rings, it's The Hobbit.
Hobbit? Fine, The Hobbit's better than Lord of the Rings anyway.
Yeah. The movies are better too.
Yes.
Let's endear ourselves to the crowd.
Uh-huh.
She's holding a weird glowy gem.
Mm-hmm.
And says it's warm.
Mm-hmm.
And then wanders out of the forest.
Yeah.
And finds Papika.
Yeah.
Just on the quad at the school.
She's near I guess it's a cliff? There's a railing she's standing
the school
near.
Cliff.
Yeah. I don't know.
Every school has one of those. The cliff.
Yeah.
And Papika hands Kokona her glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still broken.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that wasn't a dream.
Yeah.
And Papika smiles and says, let's go on another adventure sometime.
And then Kokona just says, No. And then cut to credits.
Yep.
This also, it's important to note, for me at least,
Uh-huh.
this show does a thing I love, which is the instruments for the ending theme start before the actual ending sequence starts. It starts as the show is ending, as the episode is ending. It's very good. Don't worry about it. People know what I'm talking about, even if you don't.
I know what you're talking about. It's just, if you like it, that's good.
It's good.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying I would have never noticed.
I like it.
Or cared. But I'm glad you find joy from it.
And the ending theme is really good.
Yes, the ending theme is a fucking bop. And the ending...
I don't know if bop is how I would describe it, but...
I think it's a bop and the opening is actually a jam.
Okay. It also has a very cute animation that goes with it of Kokona and Paprika.
It's very fairy tale-esque.
It's very
not the anime.
I saw someone
aesthetic.
once describe it as Hansel and Gretel-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, there's a motif there. With the nuts.
Uh-huh. It's very cute.
Yes. And it goes flip, flat, which is real cute.
Okay. So, the name of the song is Flip Flat, Flip Flat.
Not even just one flip flap.
No.
It's flip flap, flip flap. I don't know what flip flap is I guess it's the sound feet make as they're going on.
Yeah,
an
I've watched
adventure.
this show. I don't know either.
Okay. Okay.
The ending theme was again, it's very hard to find production info.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what they did, and I don't know who these people are. Well, I know who one of them is. It was by Tomas, again,
right.
the sort of the music producer, or music, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Featuring Chima? Could not find out who Chima is.
Okay.
Maybe it's the vocalist.
Maybe
Chima is the vocalist. But yeah, it's very good.
Cool.
And we get a stinger.
Yes, the episode is not actually over.
No. Yeah, because the stinger is extended. Kokona is trying to leave, and Paprika's hugging her legs, asking why she doesn't want to go on more adventures.
And Kokona says, "No, are you kidding me? What was that? Was it a dream? Another world? A parallel universe?" And Paprika is like, "Parallel?" But then she's distracted by seeing the gem. That, what are gems?
Yeah.
In anime.
Yeah. Gem is right. It's also kind of a crystal.
Yeah. No gems in Spirited Away, really. Gold.
No, lots of gold. Yeah.
And she's like, "Hey, what is that?" And then we see Dr. Salt. And he is holding up a necklace.
Yeah.
That also has a similar looking
but
crystal.
Smaller, I'd say.
Yeah, smaller, definitely.
And
unless Dr. Salt is very big.
He is.
Okay. Like a big deal or just a big man?
Yes.
Okay.
And he says, so they found a shard.
And Paprika sniffs it.
Well, we also see a shot that is very bizarre. Of just a sort of white room with a pillar.
Okay.
Don't know what that is yet.
Yeah. I don't know if I even noticed it. There's sort of a sensory overload factor to this show.
The shot is 3 seconds long, maybe. Okay. So,
and Paprika sniffs at the shard, and smiles. And Kokona is like, "Wait, is this it? Is this the treasure?" But before Paprika can respond, we see a crosshair.
Yeah.
We see through a crosshair that focuses on Kokona and then moves to Paprika. And then Paprika gets shot with a net and gets tangled up in the net. And Paprika asks for help. But Kokona is grabbed and her mouth covered by a metal hand.
Yeah.
And Paprika starts panicking and screaming for Kokona. and we see that Kokona has been grabbed by a large robot man. Who is part of a squad of robot men.
They sort of crest the hill.
Yeah. And
she drops her shard.
She drops the shard and seems to get knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
And then the episode actually ends.
So next episode.
We'll get the sort of, it's a sort of a two-parter. We get the resolution on that in the second episode.
The second episode is Pure Converter.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have any extra directors or anything, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
It was first released October 13th, 2016, and it opens.
Yeah. Kokona wakes up in bed.
Yeah.
And her grandma rolls on in
mm-hmm.
and wishes her good morning,
mm-hmm.
and we see her glasses, which are now perfectly intact.
Yeah.
And her grandma asks if she had a bad dream again, and Kokona says no.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets ready for school. We kind of see like a very similar sequence
to
the beginning of the first episode. And she leaves for school, and on her way she sees Yayaka,
mm-hmm.
Who is waiting for her by the gate to her yard. And we cut to them on the train,
mm-hmm.
or trolley, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
They're talking to another girl.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the same girl who, like, called Kokona away at the beginning of the first episode.
Yeah, maybe. She has, like, at least a similar design.
Yeah.
And Kokona is, like, squeezing her bicep. Not the girl's bicep, her own bicep, to be clear. And the other girl asks if she has, like, sore muscles.
Mm-hmm.
And Kokona suggests maybe she slept on it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other girl cries out and blushes. And Boo is here.
Boo emerges from under her skirt.
Yes.
And reason 2, I hate this fucking robot.
And also Papika is here.
Papika is flying alongside the tram on her surfboard. She waves hello. She waves good morning to Kokona. And Kokona wonders if she's still dreaming.
And then the girls step off the train. And mm-hmm. Yayaka sort of confronts Papika.
Mm-hmm.
And demands to know who she is. And Papika tells her
mm-hmm.
that she's Papika.
Mm-hmm.
And then asks who she is. And
Yayaka does not do her the same courtesy.
No, she says that she doesn't have to tell her.
Yeah.
And this kind of annoys Papika. The other girl asks Kokona if Papika is her friend.
Mm-hmm.
And Kokona says no. Which upsets Papika. And then she just starts walking away. And Papika tries to follow her,
mm-hmm.
but Kokona says that she's in a hurry, and Papika is like, well, okay, I'll take you,
mm-hmm.
and grabs her and pulls her onto her surfboard and flies her there.
Mm-hmm. And just sort of leaves Yayaka and the other girl behind, stunned.
And then they land in the clearing again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess that's the only place Papika really knows about this school, you know? And Kokona is about to chew Papika out
mm-hmm.
for this, but then notices that she is covered in bandages.
Yeah. Her clothes are also, like, torn.
Mm-hmm. From the tentacle.
Hate that phrasing. Don't like that.
It was an entirely non-sexual tentacle.
Yes.
That creature thought she was a fucking fly or some shit.
Yeah,
I thought that would be a very big fly.
Yeah. Well, you know.
I love those creatures, though.
They're good.
They had a very good design. Papika asks Kokona if she's alright, and if those guys did anything weird to her.
Yeah.
Presumably speaking about the robot.
The robots.
The robot man.
Mm-hmm.
And Kokona says she's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And Papika is relieved and shows that she has the shard.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck happened at the end of the last episode.
Yeah, so can I... The first time I watched this show, I didn't know about the post-credit scenes.
Oh.
So I completely missed that scene my first time through. I only found out about the post-credit scene in a much later episode. They directly reference one of the post-credit scenes.
Okay.
But here's the thing, they don't usually directly reference these scenes. So I just went into this episode, and I didn't know what those guys were.
Uh-huh.
But I also was possibly less confused than I would have been if I did watch the post-credit scene.
That's a good point. That's
I don't know.
Strange... Huh. It's weird how that works.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I don't even know if I don't know.
You okay?
I don't remember if this gets resolved in any way.
Okay. Maybe it's for season 2 or something.
I don't think there's... Okay. Yeah.
Is there not going to be a season 2?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I know who those robots are. I'll say that.
Okay. Coconut asks if that is the treasure.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the thing that can make wishes come true.
Yeah.
And Papika nods and says, "They said we need to collect more of these magic shards." So this is a video game now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And she asks Coconut if she'll come with her to look for them. And Coconut flashes back to the last episode where Papika nearly died and says no.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And Papika says, "But I can't go by myself. The tunnel only opens for those whose hearts feel the same, Coconut. I don't have the strength to do it all alone, but I finally have you to help me."
Uh-huh.
So I don't know what the fuck any of that means.
Yeah.
Whose hearts feel the same as what? As each other? As what?
As each other, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. What the fuck's that mean?
You know what it means.
I don't.
Okay.
I'm not playing dumb here. That doesn't mean anything to me right now.
Okay.
Whose hearts feel the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Harold.
Yeah, I know. I know they're lesbians. That's nothing to do with that.
Their
though.
hearts feel the same.
The feel of your heart depends on your orientation.
Our hearts feel the same as each other.
For each other.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's true of Coconut in that first episode.
It is. She just doesn't know it yet.
That's not a good narrative.
Listen. Anyway,
Coconut's not having it.
no.
And says she's like, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I don't want to watch you die.
Yeah.
And she tries to leave, and Papika just grabs onto her. And they just kind of fall. And Coconut picks herself up and tells Papika that outsiders aren't allowed on the school grounds. Does she say the word outsiders?
Yes.
Okay. Outsiders are not allowed on the school grounds. And that she'll be thrown out. And then leaves. And then Papika looks disappointed. But then Boo is here and hands Papika a wrapped box.
Yeah.
And then that scene ends. We cut to the school. Coconut at her desk. Yaika is asking, hey, what the fuck? Who the fuck was that? Who the fuck was that salmon-haired girl? And Coconut does not answer and opens her book bag and is surprised to see a small friend inside. Open up your local book bag and you will find a friend and boy.
A friend in a bun.
A friend and bun.
A little green bunny. With black vacuous eyes.
Yes. And also not very bunny shaped overall. Just kind of a vague bunny shape.
Just sort of an impressionist idea of a bunny.
And she quickly shuts the bag.
And Yaika asks, what's wrong?
And she says, it's... What's his name?
Uxkule.
Uxkule. Okay, that is not how I expected it to be spelled. And she says, it's Uxkule. He followed me here.
So this bunny is named after Jacob von Uxkule, who is a German biologist, who, according to Wikipedia, was big in the fields of muscular physiology, animal behavior, and the cybernetics of life.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. It didn't have a blue link. Cybernetics had a blue link, but cybernetics of life did not.
Okay, sure.
Couldn't tell you.
Yuxkull.
Just fucking look him up on Wikipedia.
I should. This is spelled Uexkull.
I believe the U has an umlaut.
Oh, okay. Which one?
The second one.
Okay. But yeah, Yaika's like, well, that's not good. And Kokona doesn't know what she's gonna fucking do. And then the door to the classroom opens. And I assume they both think it's gonna be like a teacher or something. But it's not. I think it is a teacher, actually. A teacher does come in along with someone else.
Right.
Which is Papika. Who is in a frilly pink dress. With giant pigtails. And
she wishes the class good morrow.
And Kokona is like, Papika! And Papika is like, Kokona! And runs over to her. I feel like that's just the show.
Yeah.
And Kokona is confused. But Papika, still running towards her. But Yayaka stands in the way. Everyone's name in this show ends with an
Yeah. There's a lot of repeated syllables also, or repeated similar syllables, like Coco, Poppy,
right.
Yaya.
Poppy isn't really...
No, but they're similar.
There's a consonance there.
Yeah.
Not a consonance. Assonant? No.
I think it's assonance.
Alliteration?
Sure.
Whatever. But yeah, Yayaka stands in the way and tells her to back off. And asks what the fuck Papika is doing. And Papika is like, what's the fucking transfer student is me. I am one. But yeah, then we get sort of a montage of Papika sort of intruding on Kokona's life.
When we start this montage, her hair is immediately back to normal. It's not in pigtails anymore.
She just couldn't handle it.
There's a really good scene of like Kokona reading a passage in class, and Papika's just really into it. And then like gym class, Papika scores a basket, and all the other girls are like, "Oh, cool!" And Kokona's just
sorry. Borges.
Kokona's just sitting in a corner trying not to be seen by Papika.
And then in the next scene, it's at lunch, and a bunch of girls are just sharing food with Papika. And I just want to say, Papika has sort of a big Utna Tenjo energy to her.
Yeah, in this episode at least.
Yeah.
She's not as much of a prince as Utna.
No. And then she spots Kokona leaving and runs off. We see Kokona stop behind the school and put her book back on the ground, and she opens it up, and Yuxkull comes out. Yuxkull has the best name still. Like,
apparently, none of the voice actors for the Japanese dub, the original Japanese, none of the original Japanese voice actors could pronounce it. So if you go and watch the subs, no one is saying Yuxkull.
How do they pronounce it?
I don't know.
Is it just varying ways?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he comes out and he sniffs around like a Papika, and then just rushes back into the bag.
And Papika arrives.
And starts sniffing at Kokona's bag.
And she wonders if Kokona is going to eat her lunch out here. And inside the bag, Yuxkull is scared.
But Kokona takes the sort of opportunity to interrogate Papika about what the fuck she's doing.
She sort of reminds Papika that she's not a real transfer student.
Which is kind of assumptive on Kokona's part. She doesn't know. It's a good assumption, though.
Yeah.
And Papika explains, Salt said if I was a transfer student, then I could be with you. So here I am. And Kokona is like, who the fuck is Salt?
Salt? That's not a name.
And Papika says that he's someone very important.
And Kokona wonders if he ordered Papika to come and be a transfer student. Papika is like, no.
she says, I came to look for you all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And Papika again asks if Kokona will come with her for, like, the fourth time.
Mm-hmm.
But Kokona is like, no, I need to get back to cram school.
Yeah.
Cram school.
Yeah, a blue-haired girl who has to get back to cram school.
Yeah. Who's also a middle school student.
Yeah.
And she gets up and tells Papika not to follow her. She says she's going to the bathroom and tells Papika not to follow her.
Mm-hmm.
And Papika follows her.
Uh-huh.
We see Kokona enter a stall, and then Papika, following her, says, "Me too," and enters the stall right next to her, which is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a pretty basic joke if not for the "Me too."
Mm-hmm. And then
then
Kokona immediately leaves, and Papika sort of pops her head up over the stall and then follows her. Then we see Kokona walking through the halls with Papika following her and telling her to slow down.
But Yayaka
Mm-hmm.
is here to save her
Mm-hmm.
and calls out to Kokona, and she basically just hides in the nurse's office.
Mm-hmm. Yayaka, like, slams the door shut behind her,
Mm-hmm.
and Papika runs up to the door and, like, sort of presses against it and takes a whiff and does not like what she smells.
Which I can't imagine. Either Yayaka smells bad,
Medical stuff, maybe.
or medical stuff, yeah.
And she, like, tries to call for Kokona to come out, but Kokona doesn't, and eventually she gives up and leaves.
Mm-hmm. And inside the nurse's office, Kokona thanks Yayaka, and then starts to leave. But then Yayaka, like, grabs her arm
Mm-hmm.
and tells her to wait, and there's sort of a lingering moment
Uh-huh.
of that as Yayaka panics and is like, never mind, and lets go of Kokona's arm. And then tells Kokona, people like Papika can't take a hint,
Mm-hmm.
and you gotta tell it to him straight.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not something that either of these characters are capable of.
Uh-huh.
But Kokona nods, and Yayaka Tsundere
Mm-hmm.
calls her a softie.
Uh-huh.
And Kokona leaves, and she wanders past a big painting in the
Yeah.
hallway.
In, like, the stairwell.
Uh-huh.
I'm not quite sure, but I think the painting looks a lot like the river we see Kokona in her dream.
Does it?
I think so, but I could be remembering it wrong.
I couldn't get a very good look at
Yeah.
it. I didn't really... I think there was like a triangular lighting shape to
Maybe.
it. Like, it was like it felt... I think there was like trees. Like, it was like a forest.
Yeah, maybe. But she sort of looks at the painting, and I think she's a senior. I think she's a third-year middle school student.
Uh-huh.
Approaches her.
It's the green-haired girl.
Yeah,
from
who's
before.
painting. Yeah. And she asks Kokona if she likes it.
Uh-huh. And this is a great moment.
Mm-hmm.
Kokona is like, it's a little scary, but... And then she, like, gets flashbacks to her having fun with Papika
Mm-hmm.
in the Pure Illusion. Or in Pure Illusion.
Yeah.
Is it the Pure...
It's pure illusion.
Okay. And then just kind of thinks about that. And then this green-haired girl is like, yeah? You still there? And Kokona's like, it's nothing. And then the girl tells Kokona she should come by the art room sometime.
Uh-huh.
Before Kokona can respond, Papika is here and tackles Kokona,
Uh-huh.
as she is wont to do.
Yep.
And this causes Kokona to drop her bag,
Yeah.
which unleashes Yuxkul.
Uh-huh.
Unleashed Yuxkul is the name of my persona.
Yuxkul is off the hook.
What is that?
I don't know. I'm a VJ now. And Papika spots him,
Uh-huh.
sees Yuxkul, and is immediately overcome by hunger.
Yeah.
Papika hungers.
And Yuxkul senses the danger
Mm-hmm.
and runs.
Mm-hmm.
And Kokona quickly collects her stuff out of her bag and tries to run after him. And
Mhm.
Papika follows, as she is wont to do.
Yusuke doesn't talk, he's a rabbit, but
Yeah.
he does have a voice actor. In English, he is voiced by Mark X. Laskowski.
Spell that for me?
Lasko.
No, the whole thing. I mean,
Mark, space, X. Initial X.
Okay.
Space, Laskowski.
Okay.
The
Big Laskowski.
Who is mostly background characters, it seems.
Okay.
I noted that he is Magellan in Nobunaga the Fool.
Okay.
And another character I sort of only noted down because the title of the series they're from is very good. He's a calico cat, sort of another animal. In Problem Children Are Coming from Another World, Aren't They?
I love when a title of something is also a question.
His Japanese voice actor is Michio Murase, who is Susie in Little Witch Academia.
Okay.
She's the one who has the long sort of gray-purple hair. Have you seen Little Witch Academia characters?
Haven't.
Okay.
I've seen the characters occasionally. I don't know what one you're talking about off the top of my head.
Okay.
We cut to them. They caught him.
Mm-hmm.
They did catch the boy.
Paprika is holding him by the ears and is again hungry.
She definitely wants to eat this living rabbit. And
he's scared. And he
run.
Coconut, who is panting and tired from chasing him, yells at Paprika not to hold him like that, and she drops him.
She just fucking drops him, and he runs away.
He hides behind a statue of the Thinker that's just in this quad.
Yeah, So while Coconut is sort of chewing out Paprika for fucking up and scaring him. Scaring Boo. No, not Boo. That's the robot.
Yeah.
Scaring
Yuxkiel.
They have a robot named Boo and a bunny named Yuxkiel. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get confused a lot.
Yeah. Would it help if you knew that Boo's real name is TT37R something or other?
I do remember that being, that coming up.
I don't remember when.
Yeah, me neither. But so as Coconut is sort of chewing Paprika out,
the Thinker lifts up. The Thinker
that Yuxkiel is hiding behind, ascends, and a vacuum comes out of the bottom of it.
Yeah.
A weird... I can't even begin to describe this fucking flying saucer-looking ass vacuum cleaner.
Well, there you go.
I guess there's that, with a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah.
And the bun gets sucked. And he is gone. He descend. What's up?
I don't know.
What's wrong?
I don't know.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm just describing what happens.
Coconut sees this happening and is worried. And she runs over to the vacuum and Coconut runs over to the hole under the Thinker and starts calling Yuxkiel. And Paprika goes to the vacuum itself and is also sort of looking inside for Yuxkiel. And also Boo is here, I guess.
Yeah.
And he's not coming out.
Nope. And Coconut is very angry. And says, "I've had enough. This sort of thing keeps on happening whenever you're around. Why do you think that is? You're wild and reckless and have no sense of danger. What happens if you end up dying? It'll be too late to regret it then." And then Paprika says, "Regret?" The words that Paprika doesn't know are specific and fascinating.
Yeah,
and Coconut reiterates, "Last time we played, I thought you were going to die. Don't come and see me. I don't want to go on adventures with you." And Paprika is sad. But then here's something.
Yeah.
In the vacuum. And she asks Coconut to remind her what Yuxkiel's name is.
Yeah. She tries to remember it herself, but can't.
Yeah.
Because his name is Yuxkiel.
and they call his name into the vacuum cleaner. As well as Boo. Boo also tries.
Also tries.
And then
the sort of angle flips.
Yes. And now they are inside the flying saucer-ass vacuum cleaner. And they fall.
Mm-hmm.
So now, this episode's a little slow going for a little while. But now we're here.
We're here. And
Kokona awakens.
Boy. We can't
describe this
We can't
properly.
describe any of the visuals that happen for the rest of this episode.
It's fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
It is abstract, impressionistic, you put here, bizarre. She is hanging on a tree branch? Question mark?
Maybe.
Also could be coral?
Could be.
Some kind of...
Also
some kind of animal tree?
Yeah, the art style has shifted, sort of, kind of.
Yes, definitely. The colors are different, they're a little more, pastel, I want to say.
I would describe them as, not quite neon, but I don't know if pastel is right. Pastel is very, light, and these are very, dark colors and vibrant colors.
Are they? I thought they were pretty light, but okay.
And also there are, no outlines on the characters.
Yeah.
The tree branch the Kokona is hanging from fucking disintegrates, I guess.
Yeah.
And she falls to the ground. But she catches herself on her tiptoes.
Yep.
And then fucking sprouts bunny ears and a tail.
Yeah. You know.
Like you do.
Like you do.
We Alice in Wonderland now.
Yeah. I feel like we've been.
Yeah, kind of.
And then a shape.
Yeah.
Appears.
I guess.
And Kokona is like,
Papika?
Papika, is that you? And it is. I don't know how she realized that, because it is a just sort of
jumble of shapes.
It's sort of a jumble of rabbits.
Yeah.
Of cartoon rabbits.
Yeah.
I would call it a Rabbit Voltron, perhaps.
Okay.
Except that's a boss fight in Super Mario Odyssey.
That's true. You're right.
But it does sort of morph and dissolve into Papika.
Yeah.
Who also has bunny ears.
We hear Papika, say, Kokona, and she leaps and starts sniffing. They sniff each other, and that's what sort of causes Papika to regain her shape.
That's weird.
Listen. She also has bunny ears, and Kokona points this out, and Papika's like, you got him too. And Kokona's not into that, and starts panicking. And then Papika starts to drool, and fucking chomps down on Kokona's arm. Which Kokona is, again, not into.
Mm-hmm.
And then Boo appears, and...
He's a brain with an eye stalk.
Yeah. And then
we cut away to a different shot, and when we cut back to Boo, he just looks like Boo again.
And and Papika is fucking chewing on his arms now. And Kokona's like, should you do that?
And Papika's like, gotta chew.
Gotta chew. Don't you gotta chew?
Don't you feel like you gotta fucking chew?
And Kokona's like, no, I'm good.
But then she does start staring at Boo and drooling again. But Kokona refuses and collects herself and sort of starts walking off and sees a tuft of green hair and
picks it up and sniffs it and is like, okay, I'm gonna go look for Yuke's-Kyul.
Yeah.
And then Papika's like, hey, wait, we gotta go look for the shard. And Kokona's like, I told you, I'm not gonna do that. I gotta find Yuke's-Kyul. And tells Papika to stay here, or she'll cause trouble. And then leaves. And then Papika follows.
Yep.
Along with Boo.
And Kokona starts calling for Yuke's-Kyul. She does notice Papika and Boo following her, and is annoyed.
They are trying to hide, but not well.
And then she sees a metal thing.
A sort of metal pyramid on the ground.
Yeah. And she stares at it, and then covers her mouth as she is resisting the urge to chew on it. and she walks away
Uh-huh.
and says, "No, I won't do it. I will not chew. I will not debase myself."
Uh-huh. So we're starting to sort of get the metaphor of this episode.
It's
And then
maybe I didn't get that, but
we'll talk about it
okay.
when we're done. And then
Allegory, or allegorious.
Uh-huh. She wanders into like a tunnel.
Yeah. Papika does catch up to her at this point, and is like, "Hey, are you okay?" And Kokona shouts not to look at her, and just sort of runs off. And Papika tries to run after her, but then Boo stops her and points to
something. Who could say?
I mean, we see it, don't we?
Ish.
It's another metal thing, right?
Yeah, I guess. I think so.
Meanwhile,
Kokona has wandered into sort of a dark forest.
Yeah.
I guess.
Or possibly inside some sort of, like, overgrown building.
Yeah.
Because, again, like, things are so weird here that it's hard to tell what's what. Her hair is blonde in this lighting for some reason.
The lighting makes her hair blonde.
Which is weird, but, like, pretty neat. And she finds, like, a tree?
I guess.
That is, like, hard and seems to be maybe made of metal also.
And she got chew.
She got a chew. We do also see Papika is climbing, like, a wall outside this thing.
And she's climbing towards what we see now is a shard.
Yeah. Yeah, Kokona got a chew. And she does.
Papika reaches the shard and pulls it out triumphantly of the wall.
At about the same time. I think here we also see that there is some mysterious figure behind Kokona. Like several meters back away from her. Not like right behind her, but...
And Papika pulling the shard out causes a switch that it was embedded in to flip on. And the tree starts to fucking electric. There's noises. There's machine noises in the building forest that Kokona is in.
Yeah. Welcome to this podcast. Yeah.
And wind starts to blow around the room.
Yes, and lifts Kokona up into the air. And Papika hears that going on and runs over to a window
that is looking
in the forest.
That is looking in on this forest building. And she sees Kokona, who is being sort of thrown about by the wind. And I don't know what's cutting her, but something is flying past her and cutting her.
I thought for a second it was that mysterious figure who had a sword, I guess, and was like flying past her, but no, that is not the case.
And Papika is worried and screams Kokona's name, and Kokona sees her and is, Papika. And then there's a big wine bottle?
Yeah, there's a giant wine bottle that is animated in such a way that it seems like it's made out of cork.
Yeah, and that nearly crashes into Kokona, but she is saved at the last minute.
Yes,
by
a large, buff,
green
figure
man
with
bunny ears. And Kokona's like, "Are you Yusuke?" He doesn't say anything because he's a rabbit.
Yeah. I think he does sort of nod or something. He smiles, maybe. He looks like fucking Rabbit All Might.
Yeah, and they...
get sucked into a tunnel.
They get sucked into a tunnel.
Which you describe in the notes as extremely yonic.
Yeah.
Which is fair, now that I think about it, remembering that tunnel.
And Papika screams, and then runs off, presumably to find Kokona and save her. Meanwhile, fucking Kokona and Yusuke are grabbed by a cage.
Yeah.
that is on a conveyor belt with a lot of other cages.
Petey Piranha has grabbed him.
And the cages are falling into lava, and they're worried.
Yeah.
And
this is the end of Toy Story 3.
Mm-hmm. Uexküll starts trying to pry the bars apart with his bare hands. But he can't, and he looks at Kokona ashamed. And Kokona is sort of like distraught for a moment, and then has a realization and starts chewing on the bars. And Uexküll is like, yes. He doesn't talk again because he's a rabbit, but he does sort of smile, and he also starts chewing on the bars. And I hate this. This makes my teeth hurt to watch.
That's fair. I love that we've barely even gotten the opportunity, really, to talk about the fact that the bunny Uexküll is now a buff man.
Well, what can you say about it? He's a buff man now.
We didn't even comment, really. There's so much going on.
And I think we cut to Paprika.
Yeah.
Running towards a fucking nondescript Sailor Moon hallway.
Every building's got to have them.
And she reaches a like gate, and she sort of like shakes the gate and tries to open it, but it won't budge. And
yeah, she like bangs on it, and her fist bleeds.
And Boo is worried.
Yes, Boo is worried, and his eye forms the symbol for blood.
Meanwhile, Kokona and Uexküll are still going at it.
And Paprika also like flashes back to Kokona's worried face.
Yeah.
As she was getting, slashed at in the wind tunnel thing. And she begins to cry, "Not my Kokona." So,
Harold. But
yeah, Kokona and Uexküll
are chewing.
Yeah, but they haven't been able to chew through them.
No.
And they share a look of sort of resignment.
Resignation, I think, is the word.
To their fate. And,
I'm gonna go down to the resignment store. It's like a consignment store, but you just give up the thing.
What the fuck is a consignment store?
It's like a pawn shop, but it's only for, like, taking a thing and waiting for them to sell it for you. So
a pawn shop?
You go to the consignment store.
I go to the Coinstar.
I go to the consignment store, and it isn't working.
You can explain to me what a consignment store is after this.
Okay, sure.
I feel like it's not fantastic radio.
No. And we see, like, Paprika. We see Paprika, like, completely breaking down, and her ankle starts to glow.
Yeah.
I don't think we've mentioned that Paprika never wears shoes.
Does she not?
No,
I didn't even notice that.
Not even in her, like, frilly dress.
Huh.
She also has a metal anklet thing.
Right, that's we see the glow from underneath that.
Yeah. And her, like, eyes go red, and sort of just a bunch of energy around her. And then we cut to Kokona and Uexküll, just who are about to fall into the lava, and the cage submerges.
And they hug before it submerges.
But then they are surrounded by a blue light, and they turn and look, and they see Paprika, who is glowing and is forming a protective barrier around them, keeping them out of the lava.
And they fly up and out of the lava chamber. And they land. I don't remember where exactly.
They're in like a tunnel. I don't know how they get there, but they're in there.
And Paprika runs over and hugs Kokona in relief. Kokona is very confused and is like, "Hey, what the fuck?" Paprika does have the thing where her hair is extremely long and glowy now. Also, like Kokona in the last episode.
Her hair is already long, though, so I don't know if it's significantly longer.
I think it's pretty long. I think it's longer. I think you can tell it's longer.
Okay.
And Paprika says, "I felt like I was energized." And Kokona says, "It has to do with energy?" Which Kokona confirmed for Dark Kingdom.
And then Paprika sees Uexküll. And he sort of backs away, still afraid of her. And Paprika's like, "Who's that?" And Kokona starts to explain, But Boo is here.
Boo is here.
And he is being chased by a wall.
This fucking show.
And Paprika is like, we gotta go.
Uh-huh.
And Coconuts like, but where?
But Yuxiul puts a hand on her shoulder.
And points. On the other end of the tunnel.
There's
an opening.
That's one way. That's one thing you could potentially call it, I guess.
What would you call it?
I would call it more of a whirling death fan.
Yeah, that's fair. But Coconut is like, yeah, that's the exit. And Paprika volunteers to go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Coconut sort of objects.
Yes.
Slightly.
And they decide to go together.
Mm-hmm. And they hold hands.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also hold hands with Boo and Yuxkiel.
Yeah.
And Paprika forms a protective barrier, and they fly towards the exit.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sort of chased by the wall, which starts trying to eat them.
I think it's trying to crush them.
Sure.
I don't know what's doing what.
Yeah, that's fair. Paprika hurls like a fucking energy sphere at the death trap, and it sort of gets caught in it, but is dislodged.
Right. And Paprika is dismayed.
Mm-hmm.
But Coconut points out it did stop for a second. So you just have to time it right.
Yeah. And she starts counting down from 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then Paprika throws another sphere right on time, which stops the blades, and they fucking go through them.
Yep. And we're sort of describing it as well as we can here.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It's an extremely cool scene.
Mm-hmm. All of the animation in this show is fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And they fucking emerge on the quad.
Yep. Yuxkiel is a bunny again.
Uh-huh. And Coconut's happy.
Mm-hmm. And Paprika,
sort of standing off to the side.
Yeah, is not as excited as she was last time. And says, I know you said you don't want to go on adventures with me ever again, but I thought you were going to die too, Coconut. I'm sorry.
Coconut sort of gets up and brushes herself off. And is like, you gonna go again? And Paprika says, I want to. And then Coconut sort of chastises her for not learning from her fucking encounters with death.
But Coconut does say that she also had fun.
Yeah. And then she says, maybe I'd be okay with going sometimes. But only sometimes. And only if I want to.
Yeah, only when I feel like it.
And Paprika is overjoyed and hugs Coconut.
Paprika is a Time Lord, and Coconut is her companion.
Then we sort of pan out and see in the distance behind a tree Yayaka watching all of this.
Yeah.
And then I think we cut to credits? Oh, no. We cut straight to
an office building.
Yeah, they've gone to an office building, and they're waiting for the elevator. The elevator arrives, they get on.
And Boo does a very specific, series of button presses. And the elevator starts up.
It's clearly the same day, because Paprika is still wearing her frilly pink dress. And Coconut asks where they're going. And Paprika says, going to Flip Flat. Gotta introduce you to everyone.
And then the door opens, and they enter the control room.
Yeah.
That we saw before. And Paprika cries out that she's home. And we see the lady in the chair. And
she introduces herself as Sayuri.
And says, she says to Coconut, oh, you must be Paprika's partner. So
that's Partner City to me. I've already gone over a lot of voice actors, but I have them written down, so I'm just gonna...
Are you sure? You don't want to save these for next time?
This is their introduction, so you know.
Okay.
Sayuri is voiced by Chelsea McCurdy, who is Tsubasa Mitsudachi in Gatchaman Crowd's Insight. She's also Futaba Isarugi in Review Starlight.
Okay.
Her Japanese voice actress is Yoka Hisaka, who is Kyoko Kirigiri in Danganronpa.
Okay, I've heard of that one.
And Mio Akiyama in K-On!
I've heard of that one. Okay.
Yeah.
And then also the pink-haired man. is also here.
Yeah, he doesn't tell us his name in this scene, but we learn it from the next time on, so I'm comfortable saying it now.
Okay.
It's Dr. Hideki.
Okay.
He is voiced by David Matranga, who is Shoto Todoroki in My Hero Academia.
Okay.
And I don't know this character, but I know that this show is popular. He's Tomoya Okazaki in Clannad.
Okay. I feel like I've heard that name, but don't know
he's another actor that is very prolific, but not for a lot of roles I'm familiar with, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. In Japanese, he is voiced by Jun Fukushima, who is Kazuma Sato in Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wondrous World.
Do you believe in God?
And
I believe in him.
He's Mikalis in Fire Emblem Heroes, which is not a character I know, but it's Fire Emblem.
So if that's a Fire Emblem, we got our second Fire Emblem.
And he sort of looks Coconut up and down in a way that I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah. I'm going to hope that is purely professional and scientific.
I think it is.
Okay.
Coconut asks...
The noises he makes are too appreciative.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Coconut asks if she can help him, but before he can really respond, Salt is here.
Yeah.
Dr. Salt is here. And Sayori says, Dr. Salt. And Papika says, that's Dr. Salt. Salt's voice actor in English is David Wald, who is Berg Katzi in Gatchaman Crowds. And Snipe, the pro hero Snipe, and Tetsu in My Hero Academia.
Okay.
His Japanese voice actor is Kenjiro Suda, who is Bacchus in Fairy Tail, which I only mentioned because Fairy Tail is popular. I don't know who the fuck that character is.
Yeah.
And Seijiro Mikushiba in Free. Which again, I just know that it's popular.
Right.
He's also Fire Emblem in Tiger and Bunny.
I'm sorry?
There's a character named Fire Emblem in the television program, the anime.
Oh, yeah, I think you've told me this before, and I
Tiger
just forgot.
and
Bunny. Cool.
So our third Fire Emblem.
I guess. Sure, we'll count it. But yeah, Salt is sort of ominous, and just tells Coconut to hold on to one of the shards.
Yeah.
And tells Sayori to send them to Thomason.
A Thomason is, I'm gonna read from an article, Narrative Relics, The Thomasons of Flip Flappers, by Kalira Telion on flipflapping.wordpress.com.
Okay.
In the 1980s, a Japanese artist named Akisagawa Genpai defined something he called a hyperart Thomason. A Thomason, he said, is an architectural structure that seems to serve no purpose, but is still perceived as if it is useful. These structures take on the nature of conceptual art, despite that not being the intent of their creation. A good example of a Thomason is a freestanding staircase leading to nowhere but still preserved and maintained.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it's an art installation.
An unintentional art installation, I think, is the thing.
Oh, okay. So that means nothing here.
It's conceptual art, man.
It sure is.
There's a lot.
Show, you mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Papika then just grabs Coconut's hand and drags her off.
And they're sort of led through Flip Flap, I guess.
Yeah. The Flip Flap facility. The Flap facility.
Hideki is at one point in a fucking Dr. Eggman sorta floaty thing.
You see? I didn't even notice that.
They're going through a tunnel. There's a point where they fucking walk over a staircase, an Escher staircase.
Do they?
Yeah.
God, why can't I see? What is wrong with me?
And finally
Why don't I fucking notice shit all in this show?
Finally, they are sort of placed into a weird 2-level cubby.
Uh-huh.
This is the Thomason, also, for the record. I don't know if they ever say it in the show, so I'll say it now.
What is it? What about it is a Thomason?
Maybe
I'll read that article once I don't think it might be spoilers.
Yeah, maybe.
Hideki explains, he says, I bet you're wanting to know more. I can only tell you that the world you just went to is known as Pure Illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Collecting the shards that are scattered throughout Pure Illusion is your most important job.
I can only tell you things you already know.
This is your most important job.
Yeah,
is, I guess,
fair.
kind of new information.
Kokona is like, wait, job? My school doesn't allow, and then she's interrupted as Hideki says, don't worry, we're not going to pay you anyway.
And then he just says that as he's closing the cabinet door.
Mm-hmm.
And Kokona calls out for Papika, and Papika reaches her hand down and tells Kokona she'll be fine.
You keep saying Kokona.
I don't need...
I just know that when you hear it when you're editing, you're gonna be mad at yourself.
Okay. Kokona.
Yeah.
Kokona calls out for Papika, and Papika reaches her hand down and tells Kokona she'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And Kokona smiles and holds Papika's hand over the little gap, I guess, in the cabinet. They're two slots in the cabinet.
I guess. You sort of hear over like the base intercom, I guess. Sayuri saying that impedance is nearly at 0%.
Yeah.
And Dr. Salt says, great, send them in. But before they can send them in, Kokona calls out and is like, hey, Mr. Salt?
I love that she calls him Mr. Salt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she says, she asks what exactly the shards are and what they're for, and Dr. Salt says, to unleash pure illusion, my dear.
And Kokona's...
So you've told us nothing.
Kokona's like, And then Hideki. No. It's Hideki.
We said Hideki.
Did I?
Yeah.
No. Well, we don't have time to fix that. You go.
What is?
I'm pretty sure they say Hideki. Okay.
He's not even involved in
Is
this
he not?
next part.
Oh, I thought he was. Never mind then.
But before she can ask any more questions, Papika tells her to come on, even though she's in like a cabinet above her, and the room starts to glow.
Yeah.
And then eye-like shapes open on the walls. And then Kokona and Papika are gone. And then the episode ends. Ending theme.
Flip, flap, flip, flap.
And then we get a next time on. There's no real stinger
There's
here,
no, yeah.
but there's a next time on.
Hideki forgot to pay the bills or something.
Yeah. So all of the next time ons seem to be like one character starts about to do like a next time on, and then some other character interrupts them with something that has nothing to do with the episode.
Like the one for last episode was just Kokona trying to say pure, and Papika just being like, Kokona. But next time, pure XLR.
Yeah.
There's a desert. So that's the first 2 episodes of Flip Flap.
Yeah. How many minutes in are we in right now?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
I have to edit it though.
This will be the first episode. It's fine. There are a lot of voice actors to talk about. So, what do you think?
This is weird.
Yeah.
I clearly need to pay better attention.
Maybe.
Because I didn't notice jack shit about the actual visuals of this show, apparently. It's gay.
Yeah. Can confirm.
It gives it the gayness and the weirdness of it do legit give me a lot of Udna vibes.
Yeah.
I'm here. Okay. I am very curious as to what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. I will neither confirm nor deny that any of that gets explained ever, because I don't want a repeat of Sailor Moon.
Okay. I also suspect it might be like a Udna thing and everything gets explained, but it's in a way that I am never going to be smart enough to understand. What's
I don't know.
Okay.
I just felt the need to make a noise of assent. I don't know.
I assumed you would. It's just your restraint with it made me suspect that there was some information you were withholding. I don't remember what the fuck I was about to talk about.
Visuals, meaning.
Yeah.
Don't understand it. Utna vibes.
Utna vibes. It's cute.
Yeah.
It's pleasant to watch. It does seem to be pretty allegory or allegorious. Okay, here's what I was going to say. I remember now. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
That it's definitely weirder than Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Because this show is going to be a lot of me comparing shows we've watched to each other.
Fair.
And Sailor Moon starts weird.
Yeah.
Like, it starts with a weird, unexplained premise and stuff. But it's very grounded in, like, tradition, or tropes that I would consider traditional, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it's superhero trope stuff. Whereas this is just weird to the point that, like, it's weird to the point that, like, I don't know if I care if it gets explained.
That's fair.
Like, I'm like you are with Sailor Moon. It's like the emotional core is there. So, cool. I guess I don't know why it is for me that if it gets weird beyond a certain point.
I think there might be something about the familiarity. Like, there are aspects of Sailor Moon that feel familiar to you, like you said, and that makes you want there to be an explanation because it doesn't feel like an explanation is impossible.
Right.
Whereas it could very easily feel like an explanation for what's going on in this show isn't possible.
Yeah. I am generally curious of, like, Utna also had this, where, like, I'm never entirely clear on... There's, like, okay, how do I... There's a clear boundary between the normal world and the weird stuff that's going on. That is true of Utna, and it's true of Sailor Moon, and it's true here, it seems like. Right. Except, in Sailor Moon, the normal world is just our world.
Yeah.
In Utna, and it seems like maybe here, it's not.
Yeah.
'Cause here I'm just thinking, those girls on that bus, or all those kids on that, not bus, train, whatever, everybody on that trolley saw this girl on a flying surfboard with her pet robot flying by. And I don't know what they think about that.
Yeah.
Yayaka doesn't seem impressed by the flying surfboard.
No, not really.
Also, again, my favorite anime, Steven Universe, also has touches of, like, people know the gems exist.
They don't know what they are, though.
They don't know what exactly they are, but they know magic and monsters and shit exist. It's just not a part of people's everyday lives. So yeah, I'm curious. I don't know what the fuck to think at this point. It's gay, and I like that.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the second episode.
Okay.
I don't know if this will mean anything to you, but I need to get it out of my system.
Okay.
The second episode's sort of visual metaphor is about, like, repressed sexuality.
Sure.
Like, she literally says, I will not debase myself.
Right.
And she wants to bite on things that are hard. But she's gay. And that metaphor feels like it is coming from a very heteronormative perspective, where it's like, oh yeah, this is what teenage girl sexuality is you want to bite things that are hard, but you can't because it's bad and you'll debase yourself.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe it's not impossible for those to be feelings that a teenage gay girl would have.
Right.
But it feels too easy, I think.
Okay.
There's also something there's something I want to talk about, but I don't know if it's worth talking about now.
Okay. We can always say this episode is probably already long, even though you won't show me the laptop. So we can maybe save it for a future episode. We have a whole season ahead of us.
Yeah, I'll save it. But yeah, I'm excited to watch more of this with you.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Whether it be metaphor, allegory, or literal happenstance in the plot, do you know what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Okay.
I wanted to know if you knew what this show is doing or saying or whatever it is. I don't want to know if it is just all like Utna, like nothing about this should be read as literally happening.
Right.
But we'll find out, I guess. I like the show so far. The music is really good. The action sequences are very good.
We didn't talk about the action sequence music, which is maybe my favorite just instrumental track in the show.
It's pretty good. I don't know if I super notice it. I need to pay closer attention.
Okay.
Like it you know, I was pumped up for those scenes.
Yeah.
Good creature design. Also on those creatures, and then also Yukskul. Both versions of Yukskul. I want to ask something. I don't know if it's spoilers.
Okay.
I wanted to is this the only time we see man Yukskul?
I legitimately do not remember.
Okay. I was kind of hoping he may be their third sidekick who just, every time he goes into pure illusion, he becomes that.
Nah, I don't know. If he does appear again, it is not frequently.
Okay. That's a shame. But, you know.
So I'm just gonna get it out of the way now. Salt's hot.
So I don't trust Salt as far as I can.
That's fair.
He's a very sinister looking man.
That's fair. But as we've established, I don't.
No, that's
still
fine.
Hot, though.
Yeah, that's absolutely valid. That's the thing. I don't. Maybe he's sinister, but fine. But in the Udna parallel, I'm getting serious Akio vibes off of Dr. Salt. So.
Okay.
I can feel you resisting the urge to deny that already. I feel like.
Not as bad as Akio.
That's a high bar.
Yeah,
though.
That's a high bar. But that's all I'll say.
Okay.
He's not as bad as Akio. Also, Dr. Hideka's hair is fucking awful. I fucking hate him.
I like a pink-haired man.
His pink hair's good.
The color is good.
He just put a bowl on his head and then cut all the hair.
It's the style that really... He's also just... this character exists in every fucking anime.
Yeah,
There's also that guy in Fullmetal Alchemist with the glasses.
I don't know about
He's also like a nerdy guy.
I
don't remember his name. I think that might be Mustang. That might be Roy Mustang.
Really? Is that who Roy Mustang is?
Maybe not. He might be the other one. There's a lot of characters in that show.
Yeah.
And I've only seen one episode of Brotherhood and bits of episodes that my friend watches.
Right.
So, I'm excited. This has really got my attention, and
I'm glad.
I'm into it so far. It's also more explicitly gay than Sailor Moon. So.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not explicitly gay yet, but it's pretty gay.
Yeah.
It's pretty explicitly gay.
I will say.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not confirming or denying if it gets more explicitly gay. But the director has definitely said, like, yeah, it's a love story. Please enjoy it.
That's good.
So.
At least there's sort of creator intent there. And it comes through, I think. Like, the cinematography and stuff between those two is good. Also, loving the love triangle of Kokona, Yayaka, and...
Yep. The director did not confirm Yayaka's feelings, but I think we know.
Okay, she grabs Kokona's arm to get her attention, and Kokona's like, what? And then they just linger on that, and she gets embarrassed and lets go and is like, nothing, never mind.
Yep.
And she's immediately really jealous of Papika, clearly.
Also, no straight person has that hair.
That's entirely accurate. She has powerful bisexual energy. Anyway.
I think that's gonna do it.
Yeah. Also, no, I'll say it. I have something.
Can you say it for me? So,
Papika is a manic pixie dream girl.
You know what? No, don't save that for next time. Leave that in. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything about it or respond to it, but we're gonna leave that.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
We might talk about that as the show goes on, I imagine.
Thanks for listening. As always, you can find me at Lorena27 on Twitter.
And you can find me at Frylord Zarek on Twitter.
And you can find the show at late_school. And I'll record a mention of me talking about whatever fucking music we're using.
Yeah.
It's gonna be anime, though, probably.
What do we say?
I don't know what we say.
Yeah, you lied to me when you said every anime has...
Lots of them do.
Because this one don't. This one don't have it. Do we just go flip, flap, flip, flap?
Oh my god, I'm fucking... It's a lot harder than Moonlight is a Messenger to Love.
Okay. We won't... This doesn't have to be solid. We can...
Flip-flapping. I'll say that's a thing they say in the show.
Flip-flapping.
Is that it?
No, I'm for clarification.
Yes.
That's your suggestion.
I mean, it's either that or flip-flap, flip-flap. Both are nonsense.
How do you feel about just flip-flap?
Okay, sure. I guess you can say it, because I did the thing.
Okay. Are we recording?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of us talking about...
Great. We'll put that into episode 02.
That's a different character from a different show. There's a character in Darling in the Franxx named 02.
Okay. Flip-flap!
Is that your take? Can you give me a few takes, maybe?
Okay, sure.
And then you can, I guess you have to pick the one you like best, but...
Give me some direction. I don't know.
Okay, say it a bit less quickly, I think.
Flip-flap.
Say it with a bit more energy.
Flip-flap.
You put some affectation on it, my dude.
It's too so... Flip-flap.
Okay, try that again. You're laughing over yourself.
I know. Flip-flap. Flip-flap.
Okay.
きっと約束だよいつかまた同じ笑顔で今すぐまっすぐ君のことを探したいけど君が残したひとかけらの勇気で歩き出せる踏み出せるもう迷わないからどんな道だって振り向かずに進める一人だって覚えていますか君と見た色づいた世界をモノクロの君にやっと見つけたよ二人なら乗り換えれるよ ほら
Have you seen Little Witch Academia
I haven't.
characters? Okay.
I've seen the characters occasionally. I don't know what one you're talking about off the top of my head.
Okay.
I only know the dumb one. The one that's dumb?
Akko?
Probably.
Okay.
I think that's right.
The main character?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just know she's dumb.
How do you... Okay, no, we need to... I know we need to talk about flip-flappers, but how do you
Right.
know she's dumb?
From stuff. From, like, people talking about the show.
Okay. What have you heard?
That she's dumb. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
That there's fucking memes of her.
Anyway, we can put that in the stickers.